ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. With more than 30 unique coverage options available, Progressive knows small business. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com. Plus, need seats to a game? Download the Vivid Seats app and enter promo code CHAMPS at checkout to get 10% off your first order. Don't buy just any seat. Get a Vivid seat. Ladies and gentlemen, before I get into all of this other NBA playoff stuff and the Lakers and their situation, I want to stop y'all by irritating y'all about something. Because I had to get on Greeny and Get Up this morning, the show Get Up, hosted by the great Mike Greenberg. My brother Jalen Rose is on there, and today Bruce Bowen was on there. The producers are extraordinary, all of this other stuff, right? You got John Beilein, the head coach for the Michigan Wolverines. Oh, breaking news! Which, by the way, we want to do that because news is news, and you got to give credit where credit is due to Adrian Wojnarowski, our resident NBA insider extraordinaire. John Beilein is the new head coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers. No problem there. It's news. He's won 65% of his games. He's taken Michigan to 2 Final Four appearances in 12 years at Michigan. We get that. John Beilein is the new coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I have no problem with that. Here's my point. What the hell is the segment about it for? Who cares? I mean, if you're going to get Zion Williamson with the draft tomorrow, that might be different. But since you announced this before we know whether or not the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to have the number 1 overall pick, which undoubtedly is going to be Zion Williamson in the upcoming NBA draft, who gives a damn about the Cleveland Cavaliers? LeBron's not there anymore. Kevin Love should be on his way out. Don't torture that man by keeping him in Cleveland. Send him someplace where he can compete for a championship. He's a damn good player. I mean, you let J.R. Smith out of his misery. When you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, other than Sexton out of Alabama, who the hell else is there? Give a damn about Cleveland. Why are we just so what? John Beilein, congratulations. Bravo. Bravo. It's so touching. I mean, good, fine. And? I mean, it's a breaking news. I'm like, oh my God, let's say, okay, he's the coach. Okay, that's great. Okay, good breaking news. And then they actually had to do a segment about it. Why? I'm sorry, Cleveland. LeBron's not there anymore. No one cares about you right now. Not about the Cavaliers, care about the Browns. Hell, you care about the Indians. But the Cavaliers? No, your day has come and gone. Unless you get Zion. And by the way, speaking of Zion, let me be the first to say, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I am hoping and praying that Zion Williamson ends up in one of 2 places. New York or L.A. I know my man Will Kane said today Atlanta, and I like him with Trae Young and all of that stuff. They play at a fast pace. He's going to be bombing threes. You got Zion Williamson, a monster in the open court and in the post. I get that. The Bulls, yeah, I don't want them there. I don't wish that on them because when you have that level of athleticism, inevitably people are going to want you to be MJ. There's only one. So when I look at it from that perspective, no, that's not a good thing. Phoenix, I wouldn't wish that on my worst nightmare. I want Devin Booker up out of there. My man James Jones, I'm rooting for him. Good brother. So I shouldn't say all of that because I'm fond of him and I want him to do well. But I mean, Phoenix it's like basketball purgatory. I'm sorry, but since Mr. Sarver has taken over and D'Antoni and Steve Nash have been there, the only thing relevant about Phoenix is the dust, the desert dust. That's it. Nobody gives a damn about the Phoenix Suns. I mean, we can now because DeAndre Ayton has been associated with that pay-for-play scandal that's got their coach at Arizona in hot water. Because he's playing for the Phoenix Suns now. But that's it. Nobody gives. And Devin Booker, I mean, when we look at Devin Booker, our heartfelt sympathy. We've thought about sending Dr. Phil there. We've thought about sending psychiatrists there. He needs all the help he can get. Damn. They stink. Okay? So nobody cares about the Phoenix Suns. The only thing relevant about them is the dust in the desert. That's right, I said it. The desert. So you think about those cactus trees and you think about dust and you think about hot, suffocating heat and weather. That's it. There's nothing else about Arizona that moves you. Nobody think about no damn Phoenix Suns. So we don't want Zion out there. We want him in New York or LA, and here's why. New York is New York. New York has never had an athletic phenom playing above the rim that was a walking highlight reel. We've never had that. Okay? Walt Clyde Frazier, Earl of Pearl Monroe from the 70s, they were skilled players who could really, really ball, but they weren't highlight reels. Patrick Ewing wasn't a highlight reel. Hey, John, who was the dunker? Kenny something that was drafted by the Knicks? Damn, I can't remember. I'm just having brain lock right now. Won the slam dunk contest. Kenny Walker out of Kentucky. And he could dunk but couldn't necessarily play. Mark Jackson was Rookie of the Year, and with his flashy passes coming out of St. John's. We love that. But we ain't had nobody like Zion Williamson blessing the presence of the Garden or the corridors of the Garden. We ain't had that. And if Mr. James Dolan could just manage in his core to stay the hell out of the way. Stop being Mr. Paranoid. Stop getting people banned from the Garden just because you don't like what they say, and all they're doing is asking you to sell a team. Stop reacting to nonsense like this. Stop being a damn juvenile. Showing that you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth every damn chance you get. Instead, just chill. Let Steve Mills and Scott Perry run basketball operations in the Garden. Stop interfering. Stop restricting the media. Stop banning people from press conferences and all of this other stuff. Because let me tell you something, Mr. Dolan, New York Knicks. You're wrong to do that. I don't give a damn what your relationship is with the New York Daily News. It's petty. You're a grown damn man. A grown man. Act like it. I mean, damn. Barry Watkins, who's been Dolan's right hand for many years. Barry Watkins. I want to say something as a credit to this man. I like Barry. But I want to take a moment to give him incredible props where it's due. He called me one day years ago, and I'm sure he won't mind me divulging this. That's why I'm doing it. He called me one day years ago because they had a very bad relationship with the New York Daily News. The reasons vary. I'm not getting into any of that. It's none of my business. Quite frankly, it's none of y'all business. But here's the reality. Well, maybe let me take that back. It is kind of y'all business, but it's for the Daily News and the Knicks to tell because they're the only ones that truly know the truth about what's going on. We just hear multiple stories. So let them tell it. But Barry Watkins, Dolan's right-hand man, overseeing media relations, public relations, and all of that, who's outlasted Pat Riley, Ernie Grunfeld, Jeff Van Gundy. Somehow, some way, Barry Watkins has survived for many years. Barry Watkins said something to me one day. And I so appreciated this. He never sat up there and tried to spin what I said, misconstrue it, nothing like that. All Barry Watkins said, could you do me a favor, please? When you talk about the New York Knicks organization and Madison Square Garden in concert with the New York Daily News, can you please just inform the public? We don't like them. We don't trust them. And we don't believe anybody should listen to anything they say. And they probably feel the same way about us. So can you please just say that before you get into anything about us? And I think that's totally fair. To preface everything that involves those two entities, highlighting their disdain for each other, and leave it at that. That's all he asked. Which is why I never fail to go out of my way to make sure I emphasize that. Because that's all he's ever asked. It's James Dolan himself that takes it to another level. Steve Mills, Scott Perry running the Knicks organization. Who gets in the way? James Dolan. Headlines. Charles Oakley being escorted by security out the arena, forcibly so. James Dolan getting rid of a fan, and all the fan did was say, please sell a team. And he making headlines for that kind of nonsense. That's James Dolan. He's getting in the way. And I'm telling you right now, I'm hearing 95% chance KD, Kyrie, both coming to New York. If anything could get in the way potentially, it's that nonsense. Because it ain't going to be Steve Mills and Scott Perry. Ladies and gentlemen, they're doing their job. They're doing their job. They're working this thing with agents, with players, and everything else. They're working it. They're doing what they're supposed to do as executives hovering over a franchise. Anybody that's going to get in the way is James Dolan's petulance. He'll pull out the money. He's got deep pockets. He'll pay for whatever's necessary. And oh, by the way, he's far more generous than giving credit for. James Dolan has done a lot of good things for a lot of people, including what he did for Tyson Chandler when Tyson Chandler's mother was ill. And James Dolan sent his private jet to pick up Tyson Chandler just to bring him to games and to take him back to his mama when he finished. He wasn't even practicing with the team. James Dolan did that. James Dolan does a lot of good that he is not given credit for. But the reason he isn't given credit for it is because of his own petulance and belligerence and childishness that gets in the way and glosses over the good that he actually does. So let's just hope that doesn't get in the way of KD and Kyrie coming to New York, because I'm hearing there's a 95% chance that they're coming in. Folks refuse to say 100% because KD and Kyrie's personalities are of such that they could change their mind at the last minute. But it's pretty much done. And if you get Zion to the Garden, especially with those two, Lord have mercy, it would be something special to behold. It'd be box office. New York Knicks would be a Final Four team in the Eastern Conference. Tell you that much. They'd get it at least to the conference semifinals. So they've got a 14% chance. Okay, and we'll see what happens. They're one of three teams with a 14% chance to get the number one overall pick in tomorrow's NBA draft lottery. The Lakers don't have that much of a chance, but they're in the draft lottery. That's another place I'd love to see Zion Williamson. Here is why. Zion Williamson with LeBron James. As you can see the odds right there. Knicks, Cavaliers, Phoenix Suns, all with a 14% chance. Bulls with a 12.5% chance. Hawks with a 10.5% chance. If I had to pick two of the teams out of those top five, it would be the Knicks and the Hawks. But I'm hoping the Lakers will get up in there because I love the idea of Zion with L.A. It would be drama personified. It would be the Lakers brand, the purple and gold, back in the spotlight for some of the right reasons. You know what LeBron can do. And to have a young stud phenom that he could teach the game to while feeding the ball to, while setting up to succeed, which I believe LeBron would do because he's at his best with the ball in his hands, making decisions. I love it. And I would not rule out the possibility of Zion. I mean, I wouldn't say the possibility because the ping pong balls, I have nothing to do with that. But I would tell you if I preferred them one or two places, it would be that. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Let's get back to these playoff games that took place. Let's get back to all of this stuff. Lakers coaching job, everything else in between. You're listening live to Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Justin, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
Hey, Stephen A., how are you? Thank you for taking my call.
Go ahead, man.
I swear you were screening the call, man. I totally agree with you, man. I was talking with the guy to answer the phone, and, the Houston really misses, Patrick Beverley and, just having a defensive hard-nosed presence. They never really had that besides Beverley. But when you said Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason, man, the NBA really misses that, and I'm not going to keep running with that because you already talked about it, but I want to know what your opinion. You think the Bucks, if they get through, and then obviously with the Warriors getting through, you think the Bucks can give Golden State a run for their money? And I really hope the Knicks get Zion, man. Knicks fans been really hurting for a long time.
Well, stick to one subject at a time, my brother. Let me be very clear. I think the Bucks got a chance to beat the Golden State Warriors.
I do too.
I'm not saying I would pick them because if Kevin Durant comes back and he's 100%, I'm certainly not going to doubt Kevin Durant with Steph and Clay. But I'm telling you right now, make no mistake about it. Let me be very, very clear. The Greek Freak being as dominant as he can be on the inside and in the open floor, combined with everybody from Middleton to Miritish to George Hill to, I mean, Brooke Lopez, you got 4 to 5 guys that can shoot the three. And oh, by the way, 4 of those guys, which included the Greek Freak, shot better from three-point range in their series against Boston than Kyrie Irving shot from the field. Ladies and gentlemen, if the Milwaukee Bucks defend the way that they've been defending and hit perimeter shots the way they've been hitting perimeter shots, they can beat the Golden State Warriors. I wouldn't bet my money on it, but I will tell you that series is going a minimal of 6 games. And you have to remember that the Milwaukee Bucks have home court advantage. So if there were to be a game 7, it would be in Milwaukee. Let's keep that in mind. Let's not underestimate what we're seeing here. Give you the last word, Justin. Go ahead.
No, I totally agree. They also have the size, and I think also the Bucks can score with them. That's why I asked you if you think they can run with them, especially if Kevin Durant's not healthy.
No. If Kevin Durant is not healthy, the Milwaukee Bucks will beat the Golden State Warriors. If Kevin Durant, for some reason, can't play, they will beat the Milwaukee Bucks will beat the Golden State Warriors. They need Kevin Durant to win the title. They need Kevin Durant to three-peat. They will not win without Kevin Durant. They might not beat Portland without Kevin Durant. I'm just telling you. Appreciate the call. Frank, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
How's it going, Steve?
I'm good. What's up?
Man, I want to talk about Philly a little bit. I'm a BK fan, and I ain't no hater, man. But I'm so happy that Joel Embiid, I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy this happened to him, man. The way he was bullying us like that, and the way he played against us, we knew there was a team and all
Who's
that.
us? What are you, a Raptors fan?
No, I'm a BK fan, man. Brooklyn.
Okay, go ahead.
The way they played, the way they were bullying us, making fun of us, I didn't like the way they came out of us, man. So I'm happy that they lost the way they lost, man.
Well,
That's the way
listen,
I
I will tell you this. You should be happy that they lost unless you're rooting against the Sixers in the future. Because let me tell you something. I think Joel Embiid is going to come back and wreak havoc upon the league next season and beyond. You saw his face yesterday? He was crying on the court. Gasol interrupted his celebration to go over and hug Joel Embiid and to just congratulate him on a great series. That's how distraught Joel Embiid was. I mean, to go in the hallway crying in his girlfriend's arms, all of that stuff, as embarrassing as people want to call that to be. Let me tell you something right now, man. When it hurts you that much, I think it's the best thing that ever happened to Joel Embiid. That chirping, the airplane flying, the cracking of the jokes and all of that other stuff. That man is going to be far more serious in the future, in my estimation. And if that happens, my condolences to the rest of the league if he's healthy. I'm telling you that right now.
All right. I mean, I feel you, but what he did to us, man, the way he was making fun of us and bullying us like that, man, I don't feel bad for
I got
him.
you. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man. James, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me, James. James, are you there? Going once, James. Going twice, James. Goodbye, James. Chris, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A. Good talking to you again.
All right, go ahead, man.
Real quick, I'd like to address a couple of things that you said. Number one, Zion to the Lakers, I don't think it's a good fit, Stephen A. With LeBron being there, LeBron obviously ball dominant. Yeah, he'll help him grow, but he won't be able to take a game to the next level, I think.
Stop right there. Stop right there. What would Zion do if there were no LeBron, in your estimation? I'm not even talking about the Lakers. I'm talking about anything. Tell me what he would do without somebody setting him up on the NBA level.
He wouldn't be effective, but having somebody set him up and LeBron are two different things.
Explain that point right there to the listeners. You're saying that setting him up and having LeBron James to set him up are two different things. Explain.
Absolutely. Well, number one, a predominantly floor general, somebody not looking to score. LeBron needs to score for the Lakers to be effective. Obviously, yes, he's still our best passer and our best playmaker, but he needs to score for the Lakers to be successful. And now if he's playing with a predominantly pass first point guard, of course he will flourish, but I don't think it coincides with what the Lakers are trying to do, having 2-3 dominate the basketball, along with having a Kuzma and Ingram still trying to elevate their game. That's why I think it's a bad fit, Stephen.
All right, well, I got that point. The Kuzma point is a very good point, but here's why I disagree with your point about LeBron being a scorer first. First of all, let's understand something. LeBron averages 27 a game, but LeBron is a deferential passer. He doesn't mind passing the ball. That's number one. Number two, here's the big thing that I think you're missing. The game has changed. It's sped up. There are more offensive possessions. There are more offensive opportunities. And the fact is, this ain't the 90s or the 80s. When you look at the possessions and the opportunities that you have to score, I don't think the presence of LeBron hurts somebody like this. It might hurt Kuzma, who was your secondary offensive option. It might hurt Ingram. But I don't think the Zion Williamson acquisition hurts LeBron. And I don't think LeBron hurts Zion. I think the other guys might get in the way, but not LeBron and Zion of each other.
Gotcha. Okay, well, honestly, Stephen, I don't want to talk about the Lakers. Let's talk about them come summertime. Real quick, I want to talk about something you said regarding Brett Brown and Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, Stephen A. I actually 1,000% disagree when you said that some of the, or a lot of the onus is on Joel Embiid not playing with his back to the basket and Ben not being able to shoot the ball well enough. It's an indictment or whatnot on Brett Brown. I disagree with that 1,000% because I think that's individually these guys. Well, two things. Number one, Joel Embiid's been playing like this all season. We can't ask him to change the way he's been playing all season. That's the reason why you got there. That's number one. And number two, Ben Simmons is the type of person. He needs to perfect his craft in the summertime. I don't put that on the coach.
Well, first of all, congratulations, Chris, because you'll never work in the NBA. Let me tell you something right now. When you look at Joel Embiid, you've had the man for these years. All 3 years he's played in the NBA, you've been his coach. At some point in time, it wasn't until this year that he developed the post game. I'm sorry, that's coaching. That part is coaching. Get your butt down on the block. I'm not saying to eradicate your perimeter shooting ability. I'm saying that your priority at 7'1", 260 plus, being a man child with that agility, those moves, you have to dominate in the post. The reason why they won games 2, the reason why they won game 3, the reason why they won game 6 is because they started inside out, not outside in. That's number one. Number two, Ben Simmons, absolutely right. He has responsibility. But guess what? If you're playing with a coach that doesn't hold you accountable and coaches are sent to you and you sit up there and you tell them, well, I got about an hour for you where I'll work out or something like that. That's a problem. That's a problem. And yes, it's a problem with Ben Simmons because he's young, but it's a problem when your coach doesn't have enough presence to affect that individual as profoundly as he does. Allen Iverson may not have been somebody that was inclined to listen to Larry Brown. But Larry Brown got on his damn nerves so much because he kept pestering and peppering him. Iverson knew he had to be accountable for someone, whether it was Larry Brown, whether it was the Sixers organization, whether it was the media, because Larry Brown wouldn't let it go because he was harping on the things you were supposed to be doing. That's not what we're hearing from Brett Brown, and that could be problematic. I got to run, Chris. I appreciate the call. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Back with more of your calls and then some in a minute. You're listening live to Stephen A., ESPN Radio, ESPN News. By the way, when you're hiring, you don't want to waste time sorting through dozens of irrelevant resumes, do you?